talk about the founders of Skull and Bones in the United States. We have William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft. The organization, Russell joined a secret society in Germany, which was a branch of the Illuminati. Russell and Taft formed the Skull and Bones with faculty support at Yale in 1833. The organization is oriented to the postgraduate outside world. So it's not just about making sure that the school and that they're really good students and that they're just showing their school spirit. No, the whole purpose of it is focusing on what are they going to be doing in the future outside of college. It's the recruitment ground of the college age into the international order. So the initiation we have here that this is recordings that and documents and letters that were leaked to Anthony Sutton that he published in his book. So we know this is a description of some insiders that were describing this, saying, quote, "New man is placed in coffin, carried into central part of building. New man chanted over and reborn into society, removed from coffin and given robes with symbols on it. A bone with his name on it is tossed into bone heap at the start of every meeting. Initiates plunged naked into mud pile." The theme of death and rebirth. This is that satanic counterfeit to what God does. They lay naked in a coffin, and in the coffin, while they're laying naked with another man, the previous initiate into the Skull and Bones Society, they confess their sexual history. Patriarchs, meaning the previous bonesmen that are initiating the new people, they're dressed as skeletons and acting as wild-eyed lunatics. They howl and screech at the new initiates. The initiates are required to wrestle naked in the mud pile, as I mentioned, and the initiation is considered a harrowing ordeal by those involved. Upon initiation, the member is given a new name. They're called Knight such and such. A new name, satanic counterfeit to God's plan. Former year knights become patriarch such and such. So they go from knight, and then the next year they go to patriarch. There, the order clothes the newborn knight in his own special garments, symbolizing that henceforth he will tailor himself to the order's mission. Again, satanic counterfeit. They swear an oath of secrecy as to what goes on in the organization, and they are given large lump sums of money, a grandfather clock, and loans if they need them to make sure that they're never, put in a position where they're down on their luck and they want to sell their secrets to make some money. Make sure to just keep them in a position where they're never in need of money to sell these secrets. The initiation process is essentially a variation of brainwashing or encounter group processes. The ritual is designed to mold establishment zombies to ensure continuation of power in the hands of a small select group from one generation to another. And so the things that they're working to build, they want to change society to accept and adopt the New World Order, heavily restrict individual freedom, and their focus is on transforming society to accept these things, politics, economics, and culture, education, which I get into, of course, in Invasion Volume 1 and 2. And so we can see that these different tentacles, lots of the same people are involved in these different organizations because it needs to have this semblance of everybody's working on this. And then if you chop off one of the tentacles, they can still move forward if you don't understand the big picture. And so you can see here some pictures of different classes of Skull and Bones members standing in front of the Skulls and Bones. And the order has long-standing and significant links to the relatively small Unitarian Church. And former President William Taft, whose father co-founded the order, was president of the Unitarian Association. Cumby, who was the author of The Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow, identifies the link between Hitler and the New Age movement, and former research by this author linked the order to the founding and growth of Nazism. Most significantly, Cumby states that the New Age movement plans to bring about the New World Order, which will be a synthesis between the USSR, Great Britain, and the United States. So the New Age movement is kind of the religious part of the New World Order being promoted amongst those that are awakened and enlightened into accepting these things, thinking that they are rejecting them. Finally, Cumby points out that the Antichrist and satanic aspects are woven into the cult of the New Age movement. So concealment and cover-up, right? They say, this is, again, Adam Weishaupt saying, quote, this is the founder of the Illuminati, "A cover is always necessary. In concealment lies the great part of our strength. Hence, we must always hide ourselves under the name of another society." So at Yale, we talked about Scroll and Key. They have Wolf's Head. And then at the University of Utah, they have Skull and Bones and Owl and Key, secret society organizations. We look at George W. Bush in his own autobiography. This is his writings on it. He says, my senior year, I joined Skull and Bones, a secret society. So secret, I can't say anything more. It was a chance to make 14 new friends, all he'll say. And then Russell Marion Nelson, in his autobiography, From Heart to Heart, wrote, university life was wonderful and successful. On April 3rd, 1944, I was elected president of Sigma Chi fraternity. I was also later elected to the honorary societies of Skull and Bones in the junior year, Owl and Key in the senior year. So we're going to talk more about Owl and Key and Skull and Bones of the University of Utah. So Skull and Bones was formed Yale in 1833, at the University of Utah in 1910. And it was formed by a Yale alumni. So a member of the Yale organization, Skull and Bones, came to Utah in 1910 and formed the chapter here at the University of Utah. And this is just a page out of the University of Utah's yearbook from 1925. And they had an article in the yearbook where they talk about the organization. They say the society is a secret one, just like, because it's the same organization. It's another chapter, the same organization at Yale. We have to understand that these aren't separate organizations with separate, goals. The society is a secret one, and their ways are deep and mysterious. Here we have the university yearbook talking about Skull and Bones, saying Skull and Bones makes us believe in infanticide. Infanticide, the murder, the killing of babies. That Skull and Bones makes us believe in that. Now here's an article about the disturbing and mentally anguishing nature of Skull and Bones initiation. We have here that Tom Morrow, while being initiated into Skull and Bones, goes temporarily insane. He went mad because of the initiation into Skull and Bones at the University of Utah. So we have the same style of initiations at both organizations. And further on in the article, it says that there was great excitement. Tom Morrow, a prominent student, crazed through too zealous study of the skeleton, is seen raving about the vicinity of the university. Prexy frantically telephones the police, meaning that the head of the university telephones the police, explaining that the university will pay all expenses to Provo. So this initiate just goes crazy and just tears the Provo up, basically. And the University of Utah president calls up the police and says, I'm sorry this happened. We'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it. So a sample of high-profile members. We have Senator Robert F. Bennett, who was a longtime senator for the state of Utah, and Robert D. Hales. We have here the Skull and Bones yearbook, University of Utah, and an article from the school paper says that Robert Hales wasn't just a member of Skull and Bones, but he was the head of the organization. And then Owl and Key, we're going to learn more about Owl and Key. Members of Skull and Bones, the Junior Men's Honorary Society, automatically become Owl and Key members. So becoming a member of Owl and Key is a step up. You're advancing from one organization to the next. The university newspaper reported that members of Skull and Bones automatically become Owl and Key members. We have another report that talks about, it says here, the sober members of the Royal Order of Owl and Key, the men who last year had undergone the humiliations, sorrows, thrills, joys, and stimulating effects of qualifying for Skull and Bones, utilized their greatest and rarest ingenuity in smearing ungodly costumes and requirements on the year's goats. And in 2015, 2018, the University of Utah's paper met with members of Skull and Bones. This is what they wore, the same outfits that they wear at the initiation that has been caught on tape at Yale. So they have unified statements on the jab. Members of Skull and Bones continue to promote the jab. You have Nelson on his own Twitter account says, Wendy and I are vaccinated today against COVID-19. We are thankful for the countless individuals who performed the work required to make this possible. We have prayed for this literal godsend. Receiving the vaccine is part of our personal efforts to be good global citizens. John Kerry, another Skull and Bones member, beyond grateful to the scientists around the globe who developed COVID-19 vaccines and for the brave medical providers everywhere, and especially to those at the Department of Veteran Affairs who have risked their own lives the last year to help others. George Bush says his wife and I are grateful to have been vaccinated. These safe and effective vaccines are our way out of this pandemic and toward recover and renewal. So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves and do your part.